T3.
Do I need to redo those? The ones
No,
before?
nope. Those are good. I just had to erase some other ones so we can keep going.
All right.
What was the first car you wanted to purchase and why?
First car I wanted to purchase was a Bronco. First car I wanted to purchase was a Bronco, and it was solely because of OJ. It was solely because of OJ. I was 14, and I just remember I was in art class. I was in art class. Miss Degg, which is such a weird name. It was like Dagle, Miss Degg. But anyway, I was in art class, and we had like the big TV come in, and we're all watching, and OJ's like taking off. And to me, that was like such a rebellious move. I don't think I understood the gravity of what he had done, but it just felt like at the time, you know what I mean? I'm older and a little more sensible now, but at the time, it just felt like a win for black people. And I watched OJ just dip from all these cops in a white Bronco. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's the hero chariot. Like, that's the super wagon. I want a white Bronco. Point blank, period. Don't ever give me another car. Give me the white Bronco. That was the first car I've ever wanted, ever. I still want a white Bronco. I still have not passed that moment in my life. Also, OJ, you were real a-hole for that whole thing. I'm not like supporting you. I'm not 14 anymore. But you did revolutionize the Bronco for me.
What region do you associate box Chevys with and why?
What region do I associate box Chevys with? I would say the South, only because I feel like I hear it come up in more songs than any, like a box Chevy. Definitely the South more than anything else. Was it the donk?
So, and why do you feel like the Blazer is a hip hop ride?
So I don't think I've ever claimed the Blazer to be a hip hop ride as much as I've just always had a predilection to the Blazer. It's just always been my favorite ride. Now, I do remember seeing it in a Killer Army video, and I saw it in the Killer Army video and like lost my mind. And it wasn't even like highlighted in the video. It was just a scene where like there was this vehicle in the cut. It was like this vehicle in the cut, and it was reminiscent of the Bronco. You know what I mean? And like then kind of looking into it, that was Chevy's answer to the Bronco. They had they started with the Trailblazer, which was a much larger vehicle, but then they wanted to kind of create something that was more like SUV, like more sport utility, and more compact. And then when I was a senior in college, like this girl had a 2002 Blazer, and she'd given me a ride, and it had a digital compass in it. I am not a Spanish conquistador or Copernicus. There was no reason why I needed a digital compass, but that sold it to me. I saw that digital compass and I was like, I want a Chevy Blazer with a digital compass in it. And then I ended up getting a Chevy Blazer with a digital compass in it. And I've never used that digital compass ever. But to me, I always felt like it was a hip hop ride because in essence it was a counterculture vehicle, which is kind of how I look at hip hop. It was always as it grew or ascended or whatever, it was the counterculture music. It was not what you were it's not what was fed to you. Like, you had to choose to love it. It had to choose to love you. And I think it's easy to like talk about your box Chevys, your Lamborghinis, your Italian, whatever, and it's easy to do that because that's being fed to you. You know what I mean? Like you see other rappers with this, you see these like in the streets. So you're like, I need to get that to be a part of this culture. And for me, like when I saw the Blazer, I was like, that's gonna be my in using updated rapper terms, that's gonna be my Kendrick Lamar. Like the Blazer is what I would equivocate to a Kendrick Lamar. It's not what was being fed, but it's this thing that came out and you were just like, I know this is dope. This is what I want to be a part of. And either you like it or you don't, but I love it. And to me, that's what the Blazer is. Like it's not something given to you. It's something you took in, you appreciate, and it appreciates you back. I will never get rid of my Blazer. I had a Benz. Now I'm a dad. I got a Kia. I got a freaking Kia Optima, mad responsible. But I still have my Blazer, and I will never get rid of it. Through all of that, I've always had my Blazer. It's literally sitting on bricks, needing to be fixed right now, but I'm never going to get rid of it. That car will be with me until I'm in the dirt.
When you get a new car, what's the first song that you play?
Hillside, E40, in a major way. I'm from the HILL side, though. All day E40.
Say that with the question in it.
Oh, so the second I get a new car, or the second I get any new whip, I am definitely bumping Hillside E40 in a major way. Like it's just one of, I'm not even from Vallejo. I'm not even from the Hillside. It's just something about that song is so compelling to me. Or the track from his new album, which I cannot stop listening to. What is it? I got $19 for a lap dance, but got $1 damn for a cigarette. It's E40 is the god to me. Like Sean Price, E40. Two sides of the same coin to me. I will never get tired of listening to them.
I've met both of them.
Say what?
I said I've met both of them.
I've met both of them. But like, yeah, Sean Price, E40, but E40 is my favorite artist to listen to when I am inside my car. Because I don't know, man. It's just, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even have the words for it. I just know especially if I'm taking, and this is a true story. If I'm going on a long car ride, when I start the car ride, it's always an E40 album. It's always an E40 album. And then when I'm getting close to whatever my destination is, like if I know I got like 60 miles left or like an hour left, then I put on another E40 album because it's the hype. So like when I start the trip, I'm like, here we go. And then long drives suck, start wearing down. But when you start coming up, put on another E40 album and I'm good to go.
Is there a vehicle that was influenced to you, would you say like solely or mostly because of hip hop?
The vehicle that was like most influenced to me because of hip hop was the white Bronco. I mean, OJ wasn't a rapper, but that whole thing was such a, I feel terrible saying this on camera because it's not like I'm trying to put any of that on a pedestal. It's just something that it was in the news. It was in all of the music I was listening to. Like it was off the heels of the riots. It just felt like such a victory watching that white Bronco like get away from all of these cops. And I could not get it out of my head. And to this day, I still see that chase scene. And again, I feel like I need to continue to put the disclaimer down that like I do not at all support anything OJ has done in that moment. But just as a young black male who at the time saw a win in a time where culturally we weren't seeing wins, to watch him dart from all of these cops, to watch him beat a case of murder, which he totally did and should not have gotten away with. But as a 14-year-old boy, all you know is like, you know, I was rebellious and I was like, go for it. Go for it. And to me, it was just the most influential hip hop vehicle. But, you know, like if I have to pick something that rappers say all the time, I would say the MPV. But like I never wanted it in MPV. I just heard it in a lot of songs that I liked. It was a huge East Coast, like grimy, dirty vehicle. All of my favorite rappers at the time were in MPVs because it was counter to all of the other fancy vehicles rappers were driving. But so somewhere between the MPV and Ford Bronco.
We have a Chevy Blazer.
I feel like I've talked about OJ entirely too much. And when this comes out, I'm going to be vilified. But it was a real moment. That was a real moment for me. It was a real moment. It was a real moment. And I will not deny that.
Any hip hop car song stories that you might have?
Hip hop car.
Something car hip hop related that I might not know about that you've asked?
Nah, like, you know, in my music career and just in the music that I listen to, because that was never my avenue. Like it never really came across to me. Like, so, you know, like my favorite group was De La Soul, and they were not known to ever talk about a car ever. But what they taught me was how to explore things outside of what's prescribed to you as, you know, a black man, you know, black person, as a rapper, and just a human in general. And I think that's where my affinity for things like a Chevy Blazer or things that are outside of the typical zeitgeist, which is a word I totally hate, but it felt appropriate to use. But like, I think like groups like that taught me to look outside of what was being given to me and appreciate those things. So that's why my love for the Blazer is such a real thing, you know, because groups like De La Soul and like Tribe allowed me to be like, yo, what's that other thing? What is this other thing? I'm gonna go love that other thing. So it's probably the closest thing I have to a hip hop car story.
Anything else I didn't ask that I missed out on?
In terms of like hip hop rides,
Hip hop and car
it's so crazy because like I used to have a Benz.
That's not related to OJ.
So like I used to when I was living in the Bay, I had a Benz, I had a C230, and you know, in my head I thought it was dope because I was a rapper with a Benz. That's what rappers are supposed to have. We are supposed to have a Benz, and God, so stupid. And it was money green. I'm not even that type of dude, and I had a money green Benz. Oh man, I've never had a car that like had a better turning radius though. So It was a phenomenal car. But I remember like a headlight went out in my car, and it was like $40 to get like a new light. Like, this is ridiculous. But even when I was living in the Bay and I had the Benz, I was always, it's just public, like the bus, Muni, and the trains were like that. Those were my hip hop rides. Like, what says hip hop more than a dude having to take the bus? How much more real can you be than to be like, hey man, I'm gonna do it with a bus pass. I'm about to take this bus pass to do a sold out show. You know what I mean? The Red Devil Lounge in San Francisco. I think that's, yeah, and that's where I'm kind of at with the car scene. Give me a bus and a train any day. I love the Benz, but beat that. Bus, train, Chevy Blazer.
Okay. Go ahead and like kind of sign off.
I don't know what a sign off looks like. So I'll say this. Hey Pig, Daddy loves you. HP Fangs, Haji P, out. Is that a thing? Yeah, it's a thing.
And I'm sorry that Pig, that's probably gonna edit out and you'll never ever hear it. But still.
I know, I gotta